So what I'm going to show you today, guys, is how to solve by graphing. So I'll show you the property. Okay. So now, how do you think you would solve this? By the way, take your earbuds out, put your cell phones away. Put them away. How do you think you would solve this? Well, you got to keep in mind 5 raised to a certain power, and we don't know what that would be, has to equal 5 raised to the 4. So really, the shortcut way is to say 2b equals 4, right? And so then what does that equal? Well, what you would do is solve this one-step equation by dividing both sides by 2, and you get b equals 2. However, there's a little bit easier way, and this is what I'm going to show you, because some of these problems you have to kind of memorize. You have to kind of memorize the exponentials, and it's kind of hard to remember, like 216 is 6 to the 3rd power, right? I don't know if you guys have memorized that right off the top of your head. So anyways, well, the easiest way to do this is to graph the left-hand side of the equal sign. So I would say 5 raised to the 2x. And then I would say 5 raised to the 4. So what I'm doing is I'm graphing the left-hand side, all right? So my first equation, what color are those? Red, and you'll have to put y equals in here. Yeah, red and blue. So the first one's red. So what I'm doing is I'm graphing the left-hand side in the equation as an equation in Desmos, and then I'm going to graph the right-hand side. Okay? And then I find where the two intersect. So, and you should probably put equals y to make it a little easier for yourself. Now, 5 to the 4 is a really big number. It's 125. So we've got to zoom out a little bit. Wait. No, it's 5 to the 4 is 625. So we got to go way up here. So we're going to zoom in where the two intersect. So that's going to be a challenge for some of you guys, because you're going to have to zoom in and out. But what do you notice? X equals 2. So when we go to graph these two things, we need to keep in mind that the x value represents our solution, all right? And the y value represents what it should equal at that point in time. Now, the interesting thing is we're going to get some wonky stuff as we progress on this. But anyways, let's just go ahead and kind of sketch the graph. Okay, so then your answer is just 2, all right? So this is, and let me write this down. I want you to write this in your notes so that way you'll remember. This is the solution. The x value is the solution. All right, So let's do one more, so you guys could just feel a little more comfortable about it. Can I move on to the next question? Can somebody get that? So on the next question, question number 2, if I say 36 raised to the 3m equals 216, I need to remember that 6 squared equals 36, which is equal to 3m, and that 6 cubed equals 216. Now, some of you guys aren't going to remember that. That's okay. Now, remember, the property of this is that I'm going to multiply these. So this is really 6 raised to the 6m equals 6 to the 3. So then you would say 6m, we're going to focus on the 6m equals 3, right? Divide both sides by 6, and I get m. 3 over 6 reduces down to 1/2, right? Now, you guys will probably get stuck on this very first step. And if you do, to kind of give you some traction, what you can do is just graph it. So what you would end up doing is you go in here, and you would graph y equals, okay, and then the left-hand side of the equal sign, 36 raised to the 3x. Now, obviously, we have to use x in Desmos. We can't use m. And then over here, we just say y equals 216. And then you just hit enter. Now, the interesting thing about this is, remember, y equals is a horizontal line. So you got to really zoom out and move around, but we're looking for 216, and there it is. So then you would just zoom in, and look at there. What is the x value? 0.5. What's 0.5 as a fraction? 1/2. So that's what we need to do. Always look for that x value. So I'll leave that up there for a second.